Hello everyone, today we're doing something slightly different. We're going to have a go at making an automatic pumpkin pie farm. So as you probably know, pumpkin pie is probably one of the best resources for food. It has a high amount of saturation and it fills up quite a lot of hunger. So making an automatic pumpkin farm could be really handy in any kind of survival world. What we're going to need to do this is an egg farm, a pumpkin farm and a sugarcane farm. We're going to need 2 crafters, one to turn the sugarcane into sugar and one to turn all 3 of these into pumpkin pies. We're also going to need a collection place. So I think I'm going to start with the collection part and then we'll make all 3 of these farms and then we'll find a way to link it all up to the crafters and link the crafters up to the collection system. Okay, so we have the collection area. So we have the first part of our build underway. So you'll stand here, you'll press the button, and then the pumpkin pies will fall from this dropper here. Okay, so now that we have our collection system already, we can just move on to the egg farm. We'll do that first. We need to make sure that we have plenty of space for the crafters and transportation of materials to get into the top here. So I'm going to do the egg farm over to the side here. Okay, so we have the egg farm. You've probably seen this before. Really simple design. The chickens will lay eggs. They will go into these hoppers and then they'll go into that dropper. The dropper, when it receives an egg, will make a signal on this comparator, which will then go along this redstone signal and then it will activate the dropper. Really simple. Obviously we're going to need some chickens to make this work. You've got to break some eggs to make some eggs. So let's get some chickens in here. Alright, so I have put a whole bunch of chickens in here now. And what this has become is essentially an egg launcher. Which, I mean, it's great, but it's not exactly what we need right now. But as you'll probably see in a moment, as they start to lay eggs, it will launch eggs from here. Alright, so egg farm done. Now we need to do the pumpkin farm and sugarcane farm. So next we'll do the pumpkin farm. Okay, so I'm going to do the pumpkin farm over here. Another really easy farm. I'll get started with that now. This is a very noisy farm. Okay, on top of the minecart collection system, I've put a layer of dirt and I've put stairs all the way around here and I'm going to waterlog these stairs as well. You don't need this much water, this is more than enough water, but I just think it looks nice. Okay, so now I have tilled the dirt in a checkerboard pattern like this and I'm going to plant pumpkin seeds in those tilled areas like so. Okay, so what you want to do now is have the pistons pointing down over the blocks that are not tilled. This is going to push down the pumpkins when it grows, and then you want to have observers facing down on top of where you've planted the pumpkins so that the observer can see the pumpkins growing, so that when the pumpkins change state, the observer will pick that up and then it will trigger the pistons, which will break the pumpkins. And so now the redstone dust just goes on the observers like this. Of course, this is a farm that you can make any size pretty much, but this is the size we're going with. And what that should do is put pumpkins into this. Now we need to figure a way to dispense the pumpkins like we have with the eggs. Okay, there's probably a better way to do this, but this is what I came up with. So underneath the hopper in a minecart, I have these 2 hoppers going into another dropper, and exactly the same as this over here, we have the same setup, as you can see, which will then launch the pumpkins And as you can see, this has started working now already. So every now and then this is firing eggs at me. Okay. Ah, there we go. So it spit out a pumpkin. Cool. Okay, so we've done the egg. We've done the pumpkin. Now we need a sugarcane farm. Okay, so here we have the first step. As you can see, we have some hoppers all leading into this central point here. And then we have one row of dirt, and then we've got a row here of stairs that I'm going to use to water this sugarcane. And then behind here we're going to put a solid block like this, and then we're going to need observers and pistons. Oh, I was about to hit pistons. And so the pistons go here like so, and then the observers. I just realized I'm going to need more space behind here. I might have to expand this a little bit. Try to make things as compact as possible. Okay, and then we get those on here like this. And then we're going to want a solid block behind like that with redstone dust. And then what this does is when the sugarcane grows to here, it will break the sugarcane and put it in there. This might not be enough sugarcane. And I'm also starting to think this might not be enough pumpkin. So I may actually make this farm bigger. And I think I'll make this one bigger as well. Okay, so I have expanded the sugarcane farm and I've expanded the pumpkin farm as well. It does seem to me that we still produce a hell of a lot more eggs than the rest of this stuff, but we will persevere. So we have all three of these now. We've got the sugarcane farm. Now we need the crafters. We've even got the collection as well. All we need now is the crafters. We need a way to make all three of these things go into an automatic crafter and then into this dispenser here, and so that when we power this button, then it will dispense some pumpkin pies for us. So that's the thing I'm going to do next is connect all three of these things together into a automatic crafter. Okay, so what we have here is 3 water tubes all going into these 3 hoppers that lead into this crafter. I forgot to mention I swapped out this dropper for a hopper with the exact same thing here because it needs signal strength of 1 to turn sugarcane into sugar. All 3 of these lead into this crafter. This crafter, which has a signal strength of 9 coming out of it into this repeater, has a observer clock here, so that will do this. The problem I found with this is it does get clogged up, and occasionally you have to fix it by putting in the correct item. So it's not perfect. Okay, so I've made a bubble elevator using soul sand and kelp that puts the items all the way up here into the dispenser, and then I had to move the button because the bubble elevator is in the way. But now the button is here, and when you press it, you get a whole bunch of pumpkin pies. That's 12. That's a fairly reasonable amount. The only problem with this, it does get clogged up, and you kind of have to manually fix it yourself, which is a bit of a shame, really. Okay, so I did make the sugarcane farm a bit taller. I am hoping this helps. Let's have a look. So it is a little bit clogged up already. Okay, I think I have a solution. So now when we press the button, it's going to trigger this redstone dust, and then that will trigger the crafting table, instead of it triggering whenever it's full. And I think that's part of why there is a problem. So now we only trigger it when we press the button. I've also made sure that it's full of all of the ingredients, so that when we press the button, I'm going to empty this just to be sure. So empty this, so it's empty. When we press the button, what will happen is it will trigger this and also trigger this. So that means the first time you press it, it's not going to do anything because it's only going to fill it up. Okay, so now the second time, it will trigger this and then also fill up. Yeah, so now it's filling up with some more. And so now this should be filled up with fresh ingredients. So we fixed it. So there we have it. We have a working pumpkin pie dispenser. Now this has been a fun project. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as I have. It's been a learning process for me as well. I feel like I've learned a little bit about the crafting tables from doing this. It's the first time using the autocrafter, so it's been quite a useful experience for me. And I think this has been successful. It's worked out. And I don't think we're going to have issues with this clogging up anywhere near as frequently now, since we've done it this way. Yeah, excellent. This has been a really fun experience. I really enjoyed creating this. And I feel like I've learned quite a lot about the autocrafter as well from this. But we finally did it, we made it work, which is really cool. So thank you so much for joining me on this sort of task that I wanted to give myself. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, since the autocrafter was introduced. I wanted to build something like this, and hopefully I'll build some more stuff like this at some point as well. But yeah, this has been quite successful, I think. I didn't think it was going to work at one point during the creation of this. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought it was going to be a massive failure. And then I was just like, what am I going to do now? But actually it works. It's actually working really nicely. So that's pretty awesome. What are you doing here? Go away. You're getting in the way. But yeah, as you can see, it's got plenty of ingredients in there. And then when we press the button, it just rains pumpkins. It rains pumpkins. It's awesome. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting with all of my videos. I wanted to try something new today, and hopefully we could do more random stuff like this. I just want to keep creating more Minecraft content, all kinds of different Minecraft content, whatever I feel like doing essentially. So this has been something different. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one.